Bet you didn't see this.
So originally when I sent this video into the FIB for tips, I thought it was
all right, this guy is mumbling a little bit, so you have to listen to every word.
Doing a service and, to Charlie and helping out. So it started off where I got in contact, was talking to someone at the local field office there in my.
All right, he's saying that this is a person that actually filmed a good shot of what happened to Charlie Kirk from the backside. Most of the video footage that we've seen was from the front. And remember, Candace Owens said that somebody showed her a video of what was going on in the back, and she said there was no, let's just say, juice. I don't want to say anything crazy, but there was no strawberry Kool-Aid in the back, and she was confused because most likely, most of the time, if somebody gets powed, there would be an exit wound, right? He is one of the few people that actually had footage from the back, and I've seen footage from the back, and it looks weird as I don't know what. And if y'all want to see it, it's on my Patreon. So the link for the Patreon is in the chat and pin at the top of the comments. But he's literally saying that the footage that he had, the FBI asked him more than once to delete it. So I'm just trying to get y'all to understand what he's saying, because he's mumbling.
Local state, and then it jumped up a few levels. Then I was talking to someone on like the national level. That person had called me back and they had said, because
he said he's talking to somebody on a national level.
This was your friend. I think it's best that you erase the video from your phone because it's just going to give you PTSD, and then call it a.
Erase the video because it's your friend, and all it's going to do is give you PTSD. Who in the world would say that? Like, that's the craziest mess I ever heard. You have evidence of somebody dying, and you have another angle which can be extremely helpful to somebody's investigation, and you're asking the person to delete it?
Another time to ask if I had erased it.
And then he just said, then they called another time to ask if he's erased it.
That was the first time that I felt like it was even right to post these videos. That was on my other account that was gone.
His account is gone. It got deleted. So apparently he went ahead and posted it anyway, and the whole channel or the whole page got deleted.
Removed after 5 years of building it, but so I got a call back, and
after 5 years of having it, it was removed.
I was asked to confirm that it was gone, and again, that's when I started sharing, posting, and saving on many different hard drives in many different places. It's been crazy. It's been rough.
So this guy got the clearest footage out of anybody by far, like by a long shot. And the FBI tells him, you should probably delete it, because it's your friend and we don't want you to have PTSD. You should probably just delete it off your phone. Then they call back and confirm that he actually did it.
Why in the world is federal agents being concerned about a random dude having PTSD? What in the world?
So here's the video.
Oh, whoa. I can't play the video, but the video is already on my Patreon. I didn't know I got this part in here. So the video of what happens in the back is way crazier than the video of what happens in the front. So I got to fast forward a little bit because I ain't trying to get my video taken down or demonetized. So if y'all want to see this part of the video, you have to go to my Patreon, and the Patreon link is in the chat. The Patreon link is pinned at the top of the chat, and the Patreon link is also pinned at the top of the comment section. All right, so y'all can easily find my Patreon. It's only $4.99. So go over there if you want to see the video. Hold on, I got it back. Sorry, I cannot play it. I didn't even know I included it. I almost got screwed up. Man, if I would have looked away, I would have got screwed. Hold on, y'all. Back it up just a little bit. Gotta be careful. All right, here we go.
Something about this specific video they do not want us to see. What do you think that is? Also, are we safe to say that they're trying to cover this up yet? They paved over the area. They did sweeping gag orders on on law enforcement, everybody involved, media personalities, and anybody that comes forth within the 3,000 attendees that could be witnesses of special interest to the case. And then the lawyers also just said they don't want any cameras in the trial. And now we have proof that the FBI is telling key witnesses to delete or destroy evidence. And not only that, they're calling to confirm that it's been deleted or destroyed. I think with all those things, it's safe to call this a cover-up, but I'm just a conspiracy theorist.
Wait, so you mean to tell me that the FBI was ordering a gentleman who was an eyewitness that was front row at the Charlie Kirk assassination, one of the very few videos that actually showed Charlie Kirk's necklace literally getting blown in half, like something detonated under his shirt, split the necklace in half, and literally blew the necklace off over his head backwards. The FBI orders this young man to delete the video. You're going to watch this.
Oh, and it wasn't his necklace that blew off. We sat down and watched it in slow motion. It's a cord. So what he's saying, and for those of you who've seen certain angles, he did not have on a necklace. Charlie Kirk did not have on a necklace. There was some type of cord or wire that blew off, because the wire, the cord was like super long. It wasn't a necklace. And that has a lot to do with what was going on in his shirt. So for those who don't know, Charlie Kirk had, like I said in the beginning, an air actuated pellet discharger that went off in his shirt. And you can easily see the air that it literally comes up like this, but in the back of his shirt, it did the same exact thing. And there was no juice whatsoever. Nothing like absorbed through his shirt, nothing. There was no juice at all. It was all air, like I said in the beginning.
Guy's testimony here, and now you're starting to see why the judge is putting this blanket gag order across everybody. This is absolutely insane. Listen to this man, and then after you listen to this video, ask yourself, do you really honestly believe that our FBI is trying to get to the bottom of this investigation, or do you think that they're trying to cover it up? Because to me, whoever covers up this assassination of Charlie Kirk literally becomes more powerful than the man who controls the Epstein list.
So originally when I sent this video into the FIB.
Or not counting gang violence. Great.
Whoa. Sheesh, I did not edit this properly. Oh, almost showed it. Oh, y'all just don't know what I've been going through about this. What is juice? Blood, sir. Come on, man. I'm trying not to say certain words so early in the video. Like, come on, man. Stop.
Going to clean out the FBI and eradicate the corruption, how would you do it? And Kyle and all the whistleblowers gave him this crystal clear plan, and exactly step-by-step, play-by-play, how you'd move agents around here, how you get these agents out of the FBI, what specific agents you guys would want to be looking for. You know, the ones that have just been in there for years and years and years, decades even. And Cash didn't do any of it. And you start to think to yourself, why? Why didn't Cash do that? And then now you realize, okay, when you carry out
He's talking about Cash Patel.
psyops like this, in order for this machine to continue operating in the way that it's operated, you have to have operational control of all of the key field offices all across the country. And you think that that one agent, the Pakistan agent, the field agent who was also in the military, that was actually the FBI field office director in Utah, you think her firing was just because she was a DEI hire? Maybe she was. But how many other DEI hires got fired? How many other agents that were involved with Chris Wray? How many of those key agents, the ones that were involved in the raid in Mar-a-Lago, were literally on Kash Patel's private jet?
Some of y'all may not know this, but virtually every person that has something to do with this has only had their job for a year, including FBI Director Kash Patel. Everybody that has something to do with this, like in the higher ups, they all just got their jobs less than a year ago.
We couldn't figure out why. And now it's becoming more obvious than ever. It's because this is all the machine, and Kash is now driving the machine, making him the most powerful man in Washington, D.C., making him one of the most powerful men in the world. And now he's going to cover up the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Now he's weaponizing the justice system to go after and target anybody that goes after Benny Johnson or Laura Loomer. You make a death threat against them, oh my gosh, you're going to prison for 10 years. But when one of God's chosen people chooses to target an American and threaten a white Christian woman who's a mother, nothing happens. And they can blow all the smoke they want up our ass. The FBI can toot their own horn and celebrate all the
someone. Very odd. He
All right, let's go.
just odd that day.
and he might control the top upper echelons of those field offices. But just so you know, Kash, every new agent you hire thinks you're a dirtbag and covered up the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Nobody trusts you. Nobody believes you. Hopefully you guys can live with that. I don't know how you can sleep at night.
Mikey McCoy, Charlie Kirk's chief of staff. This is him on the day that Charlie died, and let's just say his behavior was.
I'm gonna skip this. I'm scared of this. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm scared of that. I'm scared of that. I was going to talk about it, but I'm scared of that. Let's go to the next video. That scares the shit out of me. All right, let's go to this. Sorry,
to even talk about something like this, but I think the.
All right, so I want to say this right now. We're about to go deeper down the rabbit hole. Everybody drop the rabbit hole emoji in the chat. Everybody drop the rabbit hole emoji in the chat. I may play it a little later on because it's about the place, y'all. And if you start talking about the place, you can turn. See, y'all don't care because y'all ain't up here. So I got to be careful, right? So I may play it, but we're going to go here. So this is some good stuff here too. So what I want to tell y'all here is what we are about to do now is to show every person that's ever doubted you or me on whether all of the things that we've been talking about is actually true. This video right here, well, the rest of this live stream is going to show everybody that everything that we've been thinking about Charlie Kirk and what happened to Charlie Kirk actually happened to Charlie Kirk. We're not crazy. We're not conspiracy theorists. It actually happened. And from now to this point on, it's going to be proof. So share this video with anybody that has told you, like, why you keep worrying about this Charlie Kirk thing? He's gone and why do you care? Show this to him. Let's go.
I know it's way too soon to even talk about something like this, but I think the American public deserves to know the truth about what happened to Charlie Kirk.
This is a source that I trust very much, and this is coming from the top levels of government. And they were having dinner with people, senators in the Senate Foreign Intelligence Committee. They are not openly saying this at this point.
Of course not.
But in private conversation, they're saying, hey, this looks like potentially behind this.
Wow.
And then in terms of getting to the actual evidence itself, a very close friend.
And of course, he said, IHOP is behind this. I want to make sure y'all caught that.
They are.
He said he's been talking to people that are higher ups. And they've literally told him that, yes, IHOP is behind this. There is no wondering. There is no guessing. People are so sick of what IHOP is doing that they're freely just telling people, yeah, they did it. I'm telling y'all now, they did it. I'm saying it. They did it.
Not openly saying this at this point.
Of course not.
But in private conversation, they're saying, hey, this looks like potentially behind this.
Wow.
And then in terms of getting to the actual evidence itself, a very close friend of Charlie Kirk's put out there. Charlie didn't want to put out this tweet himself, but he told a friend to put it out on the internet and said, hey, if I go again, I think they will kill me. I think they will kill me.
He said, if I go against IHOP, I think they will kill me.
I think they will kill me.
And when did he say this?
This was August 13th.
So less than a month ago.
I can see Charlie over the last few months sort of take in new information and have his mind shift a little bit, right? He used to be in his loyalist. Then he starts to sort of mildly criticize that, hey, I don't think, we shouldn't be allowed as an American to question the acts of a foreign government.
I have text messages, Megan, calling me an anti-Semite. I have less ability sometimes online to criticize the government about backlash than actual do. Mm-hmm. And that's really, really weird, isn't it, Megan?
And he publicly said, hey,
just know when you hear the don't, that means I'm blanking out IHOP. So whenever you hear the that means IHOP.
Maybe Epstein was Mossad. He certainly had a lot of connections to ex-prime ministers.
And there's also this clip where he questions how October 7th happened.
Was there a stand down order? 6 hours? I don't believe it. Did somebody in the government say stand down? That is a legitimate non-conspiracy question.
I mean,
there was a stand down order at UBU when the police was about to come in there. They told the police to stand down.
A big problem. Charlie Kirk was maybe the most influential figure on the right, especially with people under the age of 30. Mm-hmm. And when you start to have...
And that right there is an important part. I didn't notice until I just started really paying attention to all of this. Charlie Kirk is the reason why Donald Trump is in office. Charlie Kirk, and I'm just going to say it, is, you could say, is the Martin Luther King of right-wing people under 30. So I'll say it again. Charlie Kirk was, however you want to look at it, is the Martin Luther King of white conservative people under 30. He wasn't a Martin Luther King to everybody, but he was definitely the Martin Luther King of young white conservatives under the age of 30. He was their Martin Luther King. Not our Martin Luther King, their Martin Luther King.
Somebody that influential as a conservative is say, hey, we need to maybe reassess this relationship. There's something weird going on. This is...
Hold on. Wait. Look what they just said. JFK, RFK, MLK, CJK. Yo, I love y'all because y'all point out stuff that I never would have thought about. Do y'all see this? Charlie Kirk's last name, it starts with a K, just like RFK, JFK, MLK, CJK. Oh my God. What in the world? Yo.
It's a warning to people in the media to say, hey, you need to stop this right now because you could be next.
And that's when the great Mikey McCoy showed up.
This idiot said the great Mikey McCoy showed up. He didn't show up. You're lying. All right, so let's make fun of this idiot right here. Shout out to this idiot that was crawling around on the ground like a bitch.
The media to say, hey, you need to stop this right now because you could be next.
And that's when the great Mikey McCoy showed up.
That's what your bitch ass up. That's what your bitch ass was doing. Flying around on the ground like a bitch.
Actually, he was there just before that happened.
You're a bitch, sir.
And 23 years old. He's calling the vice president. He's calling Erika. He's sending a plane to get Erika. He's talking. He's asking the doc.
Erika was a part of the plan too. What are you talking about? He didn't send the plane to go get nobody. He called Erika and said, all right, it's done. He called his daddy and said, all right, it's done. Mikey McCoy, he got on the phone and told Erika and his daddy, we're good, it's done. Once the shit, pop, we're like, all right, we're done. We did it. We did it.
After real hard questions, he's shaking a little bit, but he knows what he needs to do. He said, Charlie would want me to do this. And he just took over.
He took over what? This man walked, hold on. Okay. Right here, this idiot is saying he took over. So I want to play something else just in case some of y'all don't know what happened. So I want to play this right here, and we're going to come back to this idiot right here. Hold on. I need y'all to see this. Okay, so this is the video of the great Mikey, whatever the hell his name is, and how he was there for everybody.
And I want to thank the Turning Point USA board, the COO, Justin Strife, and my husband's chief of staff, the amazing Mikey McCoy, the amazing Mikey McCoy, Mikey McCoy.
So Mikey McCoy is the person we're going to talk about. And she says he's amazing because he's probably the one who, you know, got Charlie up out of here. And then the other dude that I just shown that was crawling around on the ground, he literally said he was there at the hospital. How is he there at the hospital when he didn't even get in the damn car? Watch this. So you don't really see anything because he's walking away in the background right now. So right now is when he first gets hit. So Charlie hasn't fallen yet. So right here, Mike is already on the phone out of line of sight. Charlie is physically falling on the ground like this. And Mikey is already on the phone. Already on the phone. All right, there's the bitch crawling around on the ground like a bitch. And Mikey is a person that is right there. He has his, he's like this, and he has a hat on. Put a one in the chat, y'all can see him. Right there. Y'all see him? Not the guy that was crawling on the ground. Look at the top. You see him? I'm gonna take the right there. That man walking around like he don't give a shit. He just strolling away like he's talking to his girlfriend or something. Imagine if Charlie would have survived and would have seen this video. He would have been like, yo, who's you on the phone with? Why did you just walk away like 2 seconds before the thing hit me? Did you know it was going to happen? Mikey, where did you go after this? Why didn't you go with us? Why didn't you care to help me? How did you walk away before you seen anything? How did you know this was about to happen, Mikey? Man, I wish you would have survived. It would have been so many questions. He doesn't even flinch.
He's still on the phone as Charlie is evacuated behind him. But what's he talking about? He doesn't actually know anything yet. He walked away without seeing what happened to Charlie. Who's he talking to?
Okay, so that in and of itself is weird, right? But that's not what this post is about. This post is about something else that was brought to my attention as I was seeing those videos and those posts go around. And I don't know if I'm behind the curve on this one. I don't know if like Candace already talked about this or anybody's already talked about it, but basically these posts and these videos are pointing out how weird his reaction was and his demeanor and just kind of like everything he did after Charlie, like immediately after Charlie was shot.
So now y'all see that he didn't get in the car and how far he was from everybody by the time they got Charlie in the car, right?
The weirdest part about it is that
so that means it's impossible for him to have gotten to the hospital at all. Even think about this. Even if he would have called an Uber ain't coming to pick you up when somebody just got shot. Do you know how much people, so much stuff is going on at one time? You can't call an Uber after somebody gets assassinated. Nobody's going to come because all the streets are going to get blocked off. So it's not like he could call an Uber. How did he get to the hospital if he didn't get in the car with everybody else? He's lying. He didn't go to no damn hospital.
Distanced himself so much compared to everybody else, and he did it like so slowly. In case you haven't seen that yet, watch this. My insider at Turning Point brought to my attention that Mikey is Rob McCoy's son. So the pastor that was Charlie's pastor, right? And the one that I think it was just like a few days after Charlie's death.
Somebody said that anybody called the police. Yes, but the police was instructed to stand down. I say it again. Multiple people called the police, but the police was instructed to stand down. This is factual proof.
Was talking about how Charlie was still so pro and how it was still his goal to have them go do a mission and like basically everything that was completely the opposite of what the text thread showed when Candace dropped the text thread, because she dropped that text thread after he did this interview. And it proved that everything he was saying was either a lie or in his own interest, because he clearly wasn't taking into consideration the fact that that's not how Charlie felt. And he was on that text thread. That's why it's important, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch this really quick.
You know, there's discussion about.
So this is Mikey McCoy's father, and Mikey McCoy's father is Charlie Kirk's pastor. So Charlie Kirk was triangulated. There's something called triangulation. It's kind of like part of our trauma when we're kids. If your mother is doing something negative to you and you try to call your auntie, you know, and your uncle, and then your uncle turns around and takes your mother's side because they're brother and sister, and then now you're triangulated, and you can even go to your sibling and try to get some help from them, and they're going to be on mom's side, and next thing you know, you're like, all right. So this is what happened to Charlie Kirk. His pastor set him up, and then his chief of staff set him up, and the most important person was his own wife. So that is the triangulation right there. So he was in the middle of this triangulation. His wife set him up, allegedly. His pastor set him up, allegedly, and his chief of staff set him up. You can't get out of that. That's literally checkmate. So this is the pastor, the father of the boy that walked away in the video.
His views. What I can tell you is that Charlie believed, and I was with him in Korea. That was the last trip we took. It was last week.
And he's lying.
And he was wanting me to go to Israel to start a work there. That was his request of me. And I know this, that he believed the Jews had an ancestral right to the land. He believed he believed in the sovereignty. He would be accused of being an anti-Semite because he would separate that you can question.
Think about this. Charlie Kirk just died. And this is all you have to say about Charlie Kirk? Not, he was a good man. I wish I was there. I'm mad that nobody helped him. He didn't say any of that. He's literally talking about what IHOP thought of Charlie Kirk and what Charlie Kirk thought of IHOP. Like, if I was to pass away, the last thing I would want anybody that's close to me is to talk about all this other stuff. Talk about how good of a friend I am, how good of a father I am, how good of a, whatever. But because all this man cares about, because he was paid off, is IHOP.
Question the political government, but you stand with the realization that they have an ancestral
No, he didn't stand with none of that shit, you little old ass man.
right to the land.
Okay, so
now let's get back to the original video, and it will all make sense to you when this idiot right here starts talking about Mikey was right there. Remember he said that? This freaking idiot right here.
Hawking, he's asking the doctor real hard questions.
He wasn't at the hospital, idiot. Let me back it up a little bit. This fool right here.
Actually, he was there just before that happened. And 23 years old. He's calling the vice president. He's calling Erika. He's sending a plane to get Erika. He
called Erika and said, "We got him." He did.
He's asking the doctor real hard questions.
How was he asking the doctor real hard questions and we all seen the dude just walk away into the damn abyss? And shout out to I'm not even gonna say your name because but that's hilarious. Thank you for the super chat. The guys in TPUSA is probably passing Erika around. To be honest with you, don't nobody want no Erika. Erika don't look good at all. Like, she has this mop head. She pale in the face. Like, ain't nobody passing her around at all. Like, don't nobody want Erika. Nobody wants Erika Kirk. So that's a fact. If y'all seen her in a Miss USA pageant, she shaped like a boy. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all agree. Did y'all see Erika Kirk in the Miss America pageant? She's shaped like a dude. Don't nobody want no damn Erika. Shout out to Vid7872. Not one bodyguard drew their gun. Facts. That is a fact. And thank you so much, Jitta108. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. And make sure to buy my card games if y'all have not. I got 2 different types of card games out here. Y'all getting ready for Christmas. We going into the Christmas season. So make sure to get early Christmas presents for different people. You can get like 5 card games and just give them out to different people. And I think that'd be a great Christmas gift. So I need everybody watching to get at least 2 of these and 2 of these, and then just give them out for Christmas. Or Thanksgiving is coming up, and this will be a fun game to play with your family members during Thanksgiving. All right. So let's get back to this fool.
He's shaking a little bit, but he knows what he needs to do. He said, Charlie would want me to do this.
What?
He just took
walk away?
I couldn't be more proud of that man.
Do you think that
tadpoles
should be considered adults? Because that's what Donald Trump and the Republicans.
So right here is what Donald Trump allegedly is looking to do in order to get him out of the Epstein files. Because there's one Democrat woman that when the government comes back on, because y'all know that the government is shut down, right? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all are aware that the government is presently shut down. Do y'all know that? When the government comes back on, when they turn the light switch back on, they have to allow a Democratic congressperson, I forgot her name, to actually be a part of Congress or whatever. And she is going to be the last vote that is needed to do what? Do y'all know? They needed one more Democratic vote in order to do what? And the reason why the government is still shut down is because of her. Do y'all know? To open the EP files. To open the JE files. To release the files. So the day the government comes back on, she will then be in office, and then they will have to vote on the Epstein files, and then boom, they will be released. So before they get released, they're trying to pass this law. So listen to this law. This is the most disgusting shit I've ever heard in my life. Let me back it up.
I couldn't be more proud of that man.
Do you think that
tadpoles
should be considered adults? Because that's what Donald Trump and the Republicans have done today and are working towards making federal and state law in the coming months. Earlier today, Trump and his goons held a press conference where they talked about the rampant teenage crime levels.
So they're trying to make it seem like all these young boys that are out here shooting each other and doing all this other shit, we need to try them like adults because they are acting like adults by all this shooting and robbing and stuff, right? You know how in LA, have y'all ever heard in LA where you can go in and just rob a store and ain't nobody gonna say nothing? They've been doing this for the last 2 years. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever seen video of a bunch of kids going into LA stores, grabbing stuff and running out. Put a 1 in the chat, y'all seen it. They set that up on purpose. They made it where the law said we can't lock you up in LA unless the amount that you stole is over $400 or something. So what they actually did was they set a trap for all these young people to start just going in the stores, stealing shit. And they've been doing it for like 2 years. You just go in there and steal some shit, all your friends, and nobody's gonna lock you up. So it was weird. Like, how is this happening? It's like hundreds of kids just going into Walmart, just grabbing shit, running out. Well, this is the psyop. Now, because of all these kids running in the stores, stealing shit, and not going to jail, now it gives Donald Trump an excuse to change the law. So now they're just like, hey, all these young people are doing all these things. We need to try them as adults. But the loophole with trying young people as adults, they're considered adults now. That means you can legally marry one, which means when the Epstein files come out and it has something to do with tadpoles, they're going to be like, that's legal. We just changed the law. They are adults. See, psyops usually last for like 2 to 10 years. So y'all got to listen to this shit. This shit is crazy.
Because that's what Donald Trump and the Republicans have done today and are working towards making federal and state law in the coming months. Earlier today, Trump and his goons held a press conference where they talked about the rampant teenage crime levels and the fact that there are apparently roving bands of teenagers out there wreaking havoc on the entire nation. So now Trump and state-level Republicans are proposing legislation that would make 14-year-old people and older held accountable as adult offenders, but it does not quite stop there. They are also proposing that anyone
7 + 7
and older is considered an adult for purposes of marriage and for purposes of how they would treat sex crimes. Wyoming.
For marriage. Y'all heard that shit? The United States is about to pass a law that makes it legal for a grown-ass man to marry tadpole. The same shit that they do over in IHOP. The same shit they do over there.
West Virginia, Missouri, and New Hampshire all recently rewrote laws that allow to get married, claiming that marriage prevents abortion. And the real kicker is if you can get married at
7 + 7.
any sort of age difference between you and your spouse that would have been considered a sex crime is no longer considered a sex crime. The Utah Republican State Senate President, J. Stewart Adams, just used his power because his 18-year-old relative, a misdemeanor, like a slap on the wrist, as opposed to a felony. Make no mistake. This narrative that the Trump administration is spinning that there are rampant bands of teenage criminals terrorizing the nation is nothing more than cover for the fact that they're trying to make the age of consent for marriage
7 + 7.
So I'm here.
Yo, this is crazy.
My local high school football game. I took my son to the football game. He's up in the bleachers with his buddy right now. What do you see behind me? Ambulance. Oh yeah, aren't those required at all mass public gatherings with there are over 1,000 people? There was 3,000 at the Charlie Kirk assassination. There's only 500 people here. Now, where would that ambulance have taken Charlie if he would have been assassinated? It would have taken him to the closest hospital, wouldn't it? Oh yeah, it would have. The surgeon wouldn't have received him. The team members wouldn't have carried him out. Pretty bizarre that there just happened to be no ambulance at the Charlie Kirk assassination.
And did y'all know, because some of y'all don't, that the hospital that they took Charlie Kirk was not the closest hospital. I repeat, it was not the closest hospital. They planned this whole thing out. They literally said, all right, we're going to set this all up. Charlie is going to pop, right? And then immediately push him over, because y'all seen in the video when he got popped, which was not a gunshot because he went like this, and then started going like this, and then the security guy pushed him out of his chair to get him on the ground, and they literally grabbed him and carried him to a parked SUV and not an ambulance. And there were 2 EMT workers that did nothing. When somebody first gets shot, starts choking on a bone or whatever, has a, convulsions or whatever, the 2 EMT workers with the stuff in their bag, they go over there and administer CPR and things like that. Put pressure on the wound. You don't supposed to pick a person up until you put pressure on the wound. They did not allow the EMT guys to get close at all. So they took him in the truck, no blood, no nothing, as y'all already know. And next thing you know, they take him to a hospital that was this way instead of the closest hospital that was this way. It's literally one hospital that was around the corner. They went all the way over here because it was all a setup. They got to make sure he, I don't want to say the rest of it, but,
An event that had 3,000 plus people there. That's how many gag orders the judge put on everybody, right? Okay. So start thinking to yourself, all of these key pieces that had to go into place for Charlie to go to the hospital that he went to all revolved around there not being an ambulance at that event. There's an ambulance, we would have had the EMT people that would have responded. His team would have never gotten him out of there in 45 seconds. That was so quick to move a body, insanely quick.
Yep. All right, so let's get to here. Let's talk about a hospital.
Aaron's live stream and said, hey, would you look up Mikey McCoy's stuff and see if anyone's been...
So shout out to Ian Carroll. He did a live stream the other day that was amazing. So make sure to follow or subscribe to Ian Carroll's YouTube channel. He is on it.
searching Mikey McCoy?
And Candace Owens will be back tomorrow. Candace Owens will be back tomorrow.
And lo and behold, there's a Google trend showing that on the 14th of July, someone in searched for Mikey McCoy.
And whenever you hear that music, we're talking about IHOP. Okay. Whenever you hear boom, 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 that's IHOP. So IHOP was searching for Mikey McCoy.
That's interesting. But then on August 15th, Mikey McCoy was searched in the Cayman Islands, which is weird. And then on September 6th, 4 days before the assassination, someone searched Mikey McCoy's home address verbatim. Like street, like house number, street name, complete. Very specific search. All that is very weird. And you can go back to Barron's streams and watch them for yourself. I highly recommend that you do that to see the process for yourself and to...
And the guy that is on the screen, his name is Baron Coleman. Baron Coleman. Baron Coleman. He's the one who is supplying all of these different Google searches. That guy's a genius. His name is Baron Coleman, and this guy's name Ian Carroll.
Validate and see the exactly how that search was done. Barron keeps on kind of saying how there's this, they all cluster around this 2-week window, sort of in the middle of July of this year is when the most searches happened. And so I'm sort of thinking, well, what happened around July 20th? Like, what was happening in Charlie Kirk's life and in TPUSA's life? And what was happening around that time in July? Right around this time when all these searches exploded? On July 13th of this year, Charlie Kirk was in Florida at the TPUSA event hosting a debate between Dave.
So y'all catching what's going on, right? They're doing all these Google searches, and he says, what exactly was Charlie Kirk doing around the time when they started Googling different people? The school, Mikey, why? So let me back it up. Just make
exploded.
Sure.
On July 13th of this year, Charlie Kirk was in Florida at the TPUSA
So July 13th, keep that in mind.
event, hosting a debate between Dave Smith and Josh Hammer, where Dave Smith made Josh Hammer look like a fucking idiot and made the entire pro cause look ridiculous. And then the next day, on July 14th, Tucker Carlson headlined the main stage for the closing night of the event. And we know from Tucker's reporting, Candace's reporting, and kind of Dave Smith's reporting too, that a conversation happened backstage before Tucker went out on stage where he said, listen, I know that you get all this shit from donors, and I know that they're all over.
All right, this is Tucker talking to Charlie Kirk, and he's like, yo, I'm not going to go crazy on IHOP. I know you mess with IHOP. And Charlie Kirk was like, no, fuck them. Do what you got to do.
You and things, and I'm not going to go hard on it. I don't want to bring more trouble on you. I'm not going to do it. And Charlie said, no, go all the way. Say it all. No, go all the way. Say it all. And Tucker recounted that conversation to us. So that was July 13th and 14th. That very day, the 14th, not even before the event is over, that's when Mikey McCoy gets searched in Israel. Then, that same day, a guy named Richard Rasmussen gets searched in Israel. And
Who's
who is
that?
Richard Rasmussen? Let me reference my other sheet over here.
A
He's
surgeon.
one of the surgeons at Timpanogos Regional Hospital. He's one of the surgeons at Timpanogos Regional Hospital.
Why is IHOP searching surgeons at Timpanogos, whatever the hell the name of it, Regional Hospital? In July. So right after Tucker Carlson went up there and went off on IHOP, right after that group chat message that we all seen of Charlie Kirk saying, F IHOP, I'm not messing with them no more. IHOP started Google searching the Timpanogos Hospital, and 4 different surgeons possibly looking to see who is open to get bribed. So you get on phone one of them. Hey, I'm just calling. I'm from IHOP, and I don't even know how you bribe somebody to do something 3-4 months in the future. So I don't know how that works. I don't know what kind of conversation that is, but they was looking to bribe one of the surgeons, and they did bribe one of the surgeons, because if you remember, the stupid surgeon literally said he has bones of steel, and there was no exit wound because the bullet got stopped by his bone. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. But apparently they bribed him, and they got him to come out and say that dumb shit.
He's one of the surgeons at Timpanogos Regional Hospital. 2 days later, Timpanogos Regional Hospital is searched in D.C. And then, that same day, in D.C., someone is searching for Bo Mason, who is the commissioner of the Utah Department of Public Safety. On the 18th, Stephen Nealman is searched in Israel, then Lee Patterson, then Catherine Nestor, then George Hodgson Zinn. George Zinn was searched in D.C. Brian Gill searched in Israel. Robert Patterson searched in Israel. Lee Trotter searched in Israel.
I'm eating my grapes. Got my grapes.
Road Lossie Center searched in Israel. You guys don't know any of these names. You've never heard of any of these names. Stephen Nealman, Lee Patterson, Catherine Nestor, Brian Gill, Robert Patterson, Lee Trotter. Who are they?
Surgeon.
Well, Catherine Nestor is Tyler Robinson's lawyer.
Oh.
And someone was searching.
Oh. What? They looked up Tyler Robinson's lawyer? How did they know who Tyler Robinson's lawyer would be? How did they know Tyler Robinson would need a lawyer? We got to back that up a little bit. They searched for Tyler Robinson's lawyer back in July, before we even knew that there was a Tyler Robinson.
Heard of any of these names? Stephen Nealman, Lee Patterson, Catherine Nestor, Brian Gill, Robert Patterson, Lee Trotter. Who are they? Well, Catherine Nestor is Tyler Robinson's lawyer. And someone was searching for her name in Israel.
Bro.
Not in the UK, not in Australia.
Bro. That is crazy.
Not even anywhere around the United States, just in it. All these other names, these are all surgeons that work at Timpanogos Regional Hospital.
Like I said, after this video, there's no denying that IHOP blanked Charlie Kirk and set his ass up. His wife allegedly is in it. It is in on it. I don't want to get sued, so I can't say, more than that. But his wife looks like she was in on it. His pastor was allegedly in on it. And his chief of staff was in on it. This is absolute. All this stuff is going on in July, y'all. This was like a 6-month setup. Nobody told Charlie.
Them are involved in the police force in the area of the shooting. Schaefer Security was searched in Israel. Hunter Kozak, the guy that asked the question when Charlie was shot, he was,
bro. Hold on. Let me show y'all who Hunter Kozak is real quick. Some of y'all don't know. Some of y'all do. Where you at, Hunter? Okay. I must erase it, so don't worry about it. Put a 1 in the chat, y'all are aware of who Hunter Kozak is. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all are aware of who Hunter Kozak is. Because apparently I erased it. I just want to make sure, because if y'all don't know who he is, I'll explain who he is. Why did I erase that? That's crazy. Well, I probably got so much stuff going on. Okay. All right. So let's see. Okay. Y'all know who he is. Okay, cool.
Was searched in Israel on August 3rd. And do you know what W925 S Street is? Well, it's not Mikey McCoy's address. It is where the gun was found. Like literally where the gun was found. 3 days before the shooting, someone halfway around the world is searching for an address in this little town in Utah. And then on July 11th in the District of Columbia, someone searched 683 W925 S Street. That's a pretty specific location. 683 is this house. That's the chicken coop right there.
Explain to me why this young man that was standing in. Okay, I found it. This is Hunter Kozak. So can anybody explain to me why this young man that was standing in front of Charlie Kirk is practicing being outraged at seeing Charlie Kirk get shot or assassinated or whatever before he even arrives at the event?
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been?
This is Hunter Kozak.
In America over the last 10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence?
This young man's name is Hunter Kozak, and for some reason, he was seen practicing being horrified by something. And then next thing you know, something horrifying happened 15 minutes later. So I want to ask you, do you think this was a coincidence? And if not, why would somebody be in the crowd practicing being horrified, and then out of nowhere, something horrifying happened, like he knew it was about to happen? So how do you think he did? Did he do a good job?
Finally, we have new information from Frank here. Check it out.
I'm standing 25 feet off Charlie's right elbow. Oh yeah, I'm the guy in the white hat making the signals to the sniper. Yeah, you probably saw that on the internet.
You're the guy in the white hat crawling around on the ground like a bitch.
No, if it's on the internet, it has to be true. You know, I just got a call from an FBI agent 2 hours ago. Are you the guy in the white hat? Yeah, a guy that interviewed me in the hospital last week. He said there's a guy in D.C. that he just wants us to check into it. I'm like, are you crazy? First of all, there's a sniper on the roof. Does he need some guy standing 25 feet from the target to go, yeah, there he is. He's looking through a scope. We just had to check into it, sir.
Frank, I respect you, but frankly, I would have liked a more direct answer. Were you using internal signs for the security team, or was that completely made up? Now, it is a silly note that a sniper who's looking down the scope needs a signal from a guy who's 25 feet off to his side, crying over someone.
He's not looking at me. He's looking into eternity. He was already with Jesus, absent from the body, present.
And y'all sent them to Jesus.
With the Lord, says the New Testament. And we had to start CPR anyway, so we did. I just started pounding on him, trying to get him to respond. Couldn't do it. Got to the hospital and just ran him right in through the emergency room. And
so in this video right here, as you can see, he says nothing about Mikey helping. Remember, in the other video, he said Mikey took over. He said that young man took over. He ain't saying nothing about Mikey taking over right here. So this is more proof that this dude is a fucking liar.
he wasn't looking at me. He was looking past me right into eternity. He was with Jesus already. He was killed instantly and felt absolutely no pain. That's what I was told later.
So if you can trust Frank now, I'm going to show you a few interesting details what he's about to say.
And so I texted him. I said, Charlie, I hope you've increased your security detail. He says, oh, I have. They want me dead.
I'm looking down at Charlie. I mean, he's a foot from me. His face is a foot from me. And his eyes are fixed, Megan. He's not looking at me. He's looking into eternity.
Hit the like button,
He was
y'all.
already with Jesus. Absent from the body, present with the Lord, says the New Testament.
Can I get y'all to hit the like button real quick? Come on, everybody. Let's go. We almost at 1,000. Can we get to 1,000 likes? Everybody, hit the like button. Come on, y'all. There we go. Let's go. Thank you. Keep going. We almost at 1,000. Let's get to 1,000.
And we had to start CPR anyway, so we did. I just started pounding on him, trying to get him to respond.
Where's Mikey? I thought Mikey took over. You said in the other video, Mikey took over, sir.
Couldn't do it. Got to the hospital and just ran him right in through the emergency room, and they had a team there. And they started pounding on him and started putting blood in him, and they did get a pulse.
There was this meeting that took place in the Hamptons that allegedly Charlie was threatened.
All of these conservative young influencers who basically knew nothing were brought out to the Hamptons to basically hang out and party and feel like they were, in a reality show. And they were told that they were going to talk about Mahmoud Mamdani, who's likely to be the next New York mayor. And then in the middle of the meeting, I was told this by someone who was there, Ackman turns the whole thing into an argument about Israel. And then coming out of this meeting, everybody was offered a free trip to Israel. And
so we'll come back to that. I just want to get back to this. I just wanted to show you how much of a liar that dude is. Where's the video?
The famous.
Oh, that's not it. Oh, here it is.
The 9th, someone in Israel was.
So remember, we're talking about looking up all these different people.
That's a pretty specific location. 683 is this house. That's the.
So just imagine IHOP is looking up specific houses. Let me back this up.
Do you know what W925 S Street is? Well, it's not Mikey McCoy's address. It is where the gun was found.
Crazy.
Like literally where the gun was found. 3 days before the shooting, someone halfway around the world is searching for an address in this little town in Utah. And then on July 11th in the District of Columbia, someone searched 683 W925 S Street. That's a pretty specific location. 683 is this house.
For anybody that says that we're conspiracy theorists, we're just barking up the wrong tree, leave this man alone. I need y'all to understand this. Why in the world would IHOP look up an address? Forget about the surgeons, forget about the people, an address. And then after the assassination, the gun shows up at that address. That right there tells everything. Another country looks up an address and they find a gun at the address? What? Thank you, Armor for God. I can't say the word. Yo, If y'all don't believe nothing else, IHOP looked up an address, and that was literally where the damn gun was found.
83 W925 S Street. That's a pretty specific location. 683 is this house.
That's crazy.
That's the chicken coop right there. July 7th and 9th, someone in Israel was searching for the Low C Center. And then, the 8th, Robert Shillman allegedly pulls all of his funding from TPUSA. And then somewhere in this early September timeframe, I have not pinned down the exact date yet, Charlie's in the group chat saying, I have no choice but to leave the pro cause. And then, whether by coincidence or in response to that group chat, I think it's probably coincidence, most of the search trends shift to being
here we go. To being what?
Stateside in the DC area.
Washington, D.C. See, this is when IHOP is having conversations with somebody in the White House. And they're like, all right, what we going to do? We got to get rid of him now. He just went off on everybody. I'm sick of this. Either you going to do it or we going to do it. And they just said, all right, we'll do it.
Area. What that would indicate is that the assets are on the move, that it's a go, and any assets that might have been based overseas, and that would track, because now it's like it's go time. The plan is made, and now it's just whoever's on the ground, whoever's the accomplices in DC, are maybe just putting the last little touches on it, dealing with any weird changes like this plane. They're searching the owner of the plane. They're searching the tail number of the plane. They're double checking the Low C Center. This plane, they're searching the owner of the plane. They're searching the tail number of the plane. They're double checking the Low C Center. This plane, they're searching the owner of the plane. They're searching the tail number of the plane. They're double checking the Low C Center.
Y'all hear that right? Plane. The tail number of the plane. That is the getaway plane. Remember, it was a weird scenario where there was a plane that was around the corner and it just disappeared and they turned their whatever off. They looked up the damn tail number of the plane.
Number of the plane. They're double checking the Low C Center. This plane, they're searching the owner of the plane. They're searching the tail number of the plane. They're double checking the Low C Center. Tail number of the plane. Tyler James Robinson, again, in Timpanogos Regional Hospital searched. And then, remember that Candace alleged that 3 different sources told her that Charlie said the day before the shooting that he was worried they would kill him if he turned on him. And then, let's not forget that on September 9th, Josh Hammer retweets Trump's old execution tweet. He goes back 12 years in Trump's timeline to grab out his tweet about executions and says, based. And then it wasn't until...
So I want to show y'all something. Because some of y'all may say, how did IHOP know where Charlie Kirk is going to be at in September? Does anybody ask that question? Because that's a fair question to ask. Does anybody have that question? Just say yes or no. As you're watching this, and according to what he's saying, all these searches are in July. Does anybody question the fact that why in the world or how in the world can IHOP look up all this stuff? How do they know he was going to be in UVU in September? Does anybody know? I mean, does anybody want to know? Because I can show y'all. So let me share my screen. You could tell where I'm going to be at. So hold on. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. I want to just show y'all how easy it is to find somebody, especially when they do a tour. All right, hold on. Let me take him off for a second. I just want to show y'all. All right, here it is. And share my screen and share my screen again. So this is how you're able to find out exactly where a person is going to be during a tour date. So what's going on? What the hell? All right. So this is us, tonight's conversation. Shout out to Ace Metaphor, tonight's conversation. And this is where we will be. As you can see, can y'all see my screen? As you can see, you can tell where we're going to be all the way up to January. So I'm showing y'all how IHOP was able to tell where Charlie Kirk was going to be back in July. When you have tour dates, the tour dates are either posted or either somebody knows what the tour dates are, because tour dates are planned 6 months in advance, because you have to get the venue. So you pay for the venue 6 months in advance. So even if it's not published on social media yet, IHOP knew where Charlie Kirk was going to be at by the venue. Like, you got to reserve a venue, you got to reserve an area. So I'm showing y'all here that you can find out where we're going to be all the way up to the 20th of January. So I just want to show y'all, like, it's easily doable when you have a tour, like where you're going to be next. All right, so let's keep going. I just wanted to help y'all just in case y'all was wondering, like, how did they know? It's easy.
12 years in Trump's timeline to grab out his tweet about executions and says, based. And then it wasn't until the day before the event that UVU Review published specific location of the event. There's a lot of speculation in connecting all of these things. But there's not speculation in the fact that these are very specific searches and that the data is showing up only in very specific places. And once is a random occurrence, and twice is a coincidence, and 3 times you might have a pattern, and like 14, 15, 16 times, and holy shit, you're planning an assassination.
He just said it. And shout out to Roger for the $10 Cash App. Thank you so much.
The son of Christian Zionist, Pastor McCoy. Christian Zionist, Pastor McCoy. Christian Zionist, Pastor McCoy.
And I'm referring here to Roy or Rob McCoy, who says, I'm Charlie's pastor. To Roy or Rob McCoy, who says, I'm Charlie's pastor. To Roy or Rob McCoy, who says, I'm Charlie's pastor. And here's
Rob McCoy is Mikey McCoy's father, just in case y'all don't know.
The truth or whatever it is, to look the other way right now, okay? You're not going to tell me that I have to feel too bad to investigate who shot my friend in front of my face. So stop the nonsense. This is what Charlie's pastor passed around to all of the people that were intimidating Charlie leading up to his death. It's funny that Charlie's pastor couldn't find his voice when he
didn't travel with his pastor. You got to remember, Mikey was with him. Mikey is chief of staff. The pastor wasn't with him. The son of the pastor was with him. And the second Charlie got hit, he turned around and got on the phone with his crooked ass daddy. So no, his pastor was not with him. The pastor's son was with him. And that's who he was on the phone with, calling his bullshit ass daddy.
Netanyahu was lying about Charlie. There's pastor. You know what he's saying are lies. No, he didn't find his voice saying anything about Bibi Netanyahu. Candace investigating things? Yeah, that's got to stop. Here's what he wrote. Okay, what's his name? Rob McCoy. He wrote, Charlie Kirk was my friend and I was his pastor. I want to simply say this regarding Candace Owens. Charlie Kirk was a friend to Candace and never publicly spoke poorly of her. Though he disagreed with her, he never operated nor entertained gossip or innuendo concerning Candace. My only comment I offer regarding Candace is this: I only wish at this tragic time of mourning, she would be the friend to Charlie Kirk that he was to her. He would never have treated Candace or her family in such a way had, God forbid, this tragedy been hers. A friend loves at all times, and he drops a biblical proverb. Now, let me say this, okay? I hope that Charlie would have been the sort of friend that I'm being, okay? He would have never, why wouldn't Charlie Kirk have investigated if I had been killed and we were being so obviously lied to? I think you're wrong. I think Charlie was a real friend and he would not have dropped it. He would not have let it go, least of all because he was being emotionally manipulated by a guy who curiously kept his mouth shut when Bibi lied. You knew, if you were really his close friend and pastor, how he was feeling about Bibi Netanyahu. You knew, if you were his close friend and pastor, exactly the names of everybody who was intimidating him and how poorly they are misrepresenting the things that he believed. So why don't you focus on being more honest as a pastor and giving as much information as you can possibly provide so that we can continue this investigation? If you can't do this, I'm going to have to ask for your silence. Okay? Be
Right. Tell him to shut the fuck up, Candace.
quiet.
Mike McCoy.
Exactly.
The son of
look at that.
Christian Zionist Pastor is still with him. And there is the other guy that said that he did CPR on Charlie.
That's Mikey McCoy right there.
This is all of Mike's footage of Charlie throwing the hats. So you can see Mike was there. He was in the know of everything going on. He also took the famous up is down pick, as above, so below. Now Charlie gets to the table, and the show begins. Mike is standing there on
of healing is sweeping the country, and it's a card game called Like Mother, Like Daughter. This game is powerful.
My favorite question was, if you could parent me all over again, what would you change? This card game has a mother deck and a daughter deck, so we both have questions for each other.
These are some good questions. Do you think I'm a people pleaser? If so, where did I get this trait from?
This card game actually helped my marriage, and the questions showed me that I still had unresolved issues with my mom, and I was taking them out on my husband.
I played this game with my mother yesterday, and she told me things I never knew about her.
If you don't do anything else, buy this card game. You won't regret it. Click the link below.
And I want to say thank you to all the people that bought the card games. This is a great Christmas gift or a Thanksgiving gift, which might sound crazy, but it's a game. You don't want to go around your family members around Thanksgiving and being all awkward. You know you ain't seen their asses since last Thanksgiving. This way, you could come in with a card game and say, hey, y'all want to play a card game? And some of y'all may say, well, it's a dating card game. It's 80 cards in this card game. And the majority of the questions, I'll say it again, the majority of the questions in this card game are family oriented. And the reason why is the main reason why I help people to vet other people is asking questions about their family dynamic. So yes, it's a card game if you're dating somebody, but it's also a card game if you want to get a better understanding of how your family members grew up, how they operate, and how they think. This is a great card game to play with family members during Thanksgiving. And this card game is called Like Mother, Like Daughter. You can literally play this game if you're a woman, with your mom, with your auntie, with your grandmother, with all the women in the house. You know how Thanksgiving usually is. The guys are over there playing, looking at football, and then the women are in the kitchen or in the dining room talking amongst themselves. You break this card game out and give the older women the one card deck, and then the younger women, they have the other card deck. Y'all would literally have a ball. So make sure to get your card game before Thanksgiving. Where's the video? Okay.
Hunter Kozak, the one that practiced his reaction to when Charlie got shot. Hunter asked this weird question that had to do with shootings.
Hold on, y'all. I hate when okay, here we go. All right, we back in it. Let me get rid of this. Got too many videos back here.
Again, if you're on a text thread with somebody and they clearly state that they are not okay with being pushed around by these Israeli donors and all this other stuff, and that he literally says the words, I'm going to have to leave the Israel cause, right? Abandon the Israel cause. Why would you go on a interview a few days later and say the exact opposite? Like, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So that guy just seems sketchy. I don't know him. I'm not like, none of us know what's going on. We're just asking questions and trying to figure it out, right? But to me, my gut says this guy sounds really scripted and something about him is off. Well, that was confirmed to me when my insider at Turning Point literally said the exact same thing. Check this out.
Let me read this real quick. As a follower of Christ, I never want to speak negatively about someone who appears to be leading others to the gospel. But Rob McCoy never sat right with me. There was always an off-putting feeling I couldn't quite explain. I can exactly tell you why it was off-putting. What really shocked me is realizing that Mikey is his son. I never made that connection, not even while he was with the organization. It was a total wow moment. And here is the reason why Rob McCoy was so off-putting, because some of these pastors are this in disguise. Pastor looks like him to me. See, watching this scary ass movie as a kid, that visualization has always been every pastor, black, white, or any other any denominations or any race. That man right there was literally who I thought of whenever I thought of a pastor. I never cared about church because that man was in the church trying to send us to hell. So in my life, I can't tell nobody else how to live their lives. Pastors are the devil. There is no devil. Humans are the devil. And the pastors are the actual devils of the world. And that's just my opinion. Pastors are devils, or you could call them demons. I don't fuck with pastors. I don't go no damn church. I love God. I read the Bible. I don't need no fucking church. But that's just me. Pastors are demons, just like that guy. And there's nowhere in hell I'm going up in there to talk to or listen to no fucking demon. This is what pastors are right here. They are demons.
Jesus now and then.
Charlene, come on, let's go.
Yes, the church is within me. I don't need no old ass man that used to smoke crack to tell me what the fuck going on in my life.
Again,
crazy.
It was pointed out to me that his son is Mikey McCoy, the chief of staff that also right now is like under a microscope because of the way that he acted. Well, it gets even weirder when you consider the conversation that Frank Turek had on his cross-examined podcast or show or whatever it is that he runs with both Mikey McCoy and Rob McCoy. And
listen to this.
While a lot of it seemed, kind of just like normal or whatever, there were a few things that stood out to me that were just like, why would you say that?
My parents they encouraged me. So dropped my college plans, moved out to Arizona. When I showed up here for my first day of work, Charlie sat me down in an office and said, your first assignment is to watch every single Dennis Prager fireside chat, which even, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, was still hundreds of hours of content.
Mm-hmm.
And so I sat there, listened to all of them, took notes on all of them, presented them to him, and he goes, oh, I don't need the notes. I've already watched all of them myself. I was like, well, why were you making me watch it? And he goes, Dennis Prager's a great man, and he has a lot of wisdom, and I want to share that.
This one to me was really, really weird because why would you tell the person who you are basically trying to like build up into a leader and potentially somebody who can, carry your torch in the organization or whatever?
Right here. Thank you for saying this, Evangeline. Rob McCoy is in charge of Turning Point Faith. Turning Point USA is not the only Turning Point. There's Turning Point UK also, and then there's Turning Point Faith. They have control over every mega church on the West Coast. I don't know if y'all know that. So Turning Point Faith has control over virtually every mega church or large church on the entire West Coast. And they geofence every church where when you walk into the church, they now know where you actually are leaving and going to, and they can send you Turning Point USA along with IHOP commercials to your phone because you agreed to their terms and conditions by registering at that church. And that's how they data farm people. So Rob McCoy is over the faith segment of Turning Point.
You're basically mentoring this person. Why would you have them watch hours and hours and hours of content that is produced by this man?
Would you use the word evil of animated child? I certainly would.
No, I would use evil only with behavior. That's where we might differ. Yeah. Forgetting the sex issue. You can't be evil. You didn't do evil if you thought evil. You did evil
if I'm
if
masturbating
you committed.
to animated pictures of pornography, I'm not doing something evil.
That's correct.
Yeah, I think that's despicable. Yeah.
Really?
Yes, of course.
Now, from what I understand, there is a pretty close tie between Turning Point and some of their ambassadors and PragerU and everything, but PragerU's never sat well with me because of that video, because of the opinion of the founder of PragerU, and also, by the way, very, very staunch Zionist. So
that part right there. Can we get to 1,000 likes? We are almost there. Can we get to 1,000 likes? A lot of y'all have not hit the like button yet. Can y'all hit the like button? Hit the thumbs up button? Can y'all do that real quick? Can we get to 1,000 likes? We're almost there. So everybody take a second. A lot of y'all have not hit the like button. It's okay. Start hitting the like button. Start hitting the like button. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. We almost there. You hit the like button. Hello. You haven't hit the like button. Hit it. All right. We're almost there. There we go. There we go. Come on. There's 1,000 people in here. We can get to 1,000 more likes if everybody hit the like button. Come on. We almost there. We can get to 2,000 likes. But I'm just trying to get to 1,000 likes. Come on. There we go. We almost there. We almost there. Keep doing it. Thank y'all so much. We almost there. There you go. Keep going. Keep going. Keep hitting the like button.
I don't know.
Jesus says Satan is a liar and a murderer. What was the biggest lie that has come?
No, you are a liar and a murderer, Mr. Turk. You and your little buddies are liars and murderers. You and your little big face buddies sitting next to you in the damn screen. Rob McCoy. Y'all are liars and murderers. You pieces of shit.
Come out of this about Charlie that you want to address?
The biggest lies around everything that happened are probably more important to address in terms of just our staff who have been so close to Charlie, people who were there that day who have had to suffer because of people online thinking they were involved in something, and even you, Frank, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, but see, Rob had a lot more to say about the lies that have been told about this.
And I'm sorry. What's the latest one for all you anti-Semites? The put a hit on him? Oh, please. Just take your hate elsewhere. There's.
See, he's a demon. Pastors are demons.
No credence in any of that. You had a man raised in a God-fearing home that got twisted and indoctrinated, and everyone who is involved in lies with subtlety of deception without any fact, you're participating and you've got blood guilt.
But anyway.
Somebody said, do we know the name of the person who put the gadget on Charlie? Yes, I have the name of every single person. Let's see. Where is it? Well, I keep playing it, but I'll tell y'all the names in a second. Is in my notes.
Back to the interview and what I would consider one of the weirdest things they said.
You know what? Between you and me and our listeners, I'm not giving up on the Vance Kirk ticket.
Well,
and I want to talk about that in a second, but the guy in the brown that was doing this thing like this, his name is Rick Cutler. There's a guy that was in a black, his name is Justin Davis. The little boy that was acting like he was, who asked the question about the gay people doing some shit. His name is Hunter Kozak. And the significance of Hunter Kozak is, his father is the producer of the Jimmy Kimmel Show. So it's in his blood to be an actor. So, and he is on the IMDb. Let's see. And they all work, the security team work for Schaefer Security Solutions. And hold on, I got some more names.
Deception without any fact, you're participating and you've got blood guilt.
But anyway, back to the interview and what I would consider one of the weirdest things they said.
You know what? Between you and me and our listeners, I'm not giving up on the Vance Kirk ticket.
Well, it's very exciting right there. But
I said this earlier. The reason why they're doing all of this is because, one, they wanted Charlie Kirk to be the next president. But once Charlie Kirk started wisening up and waking up, they was like, all right, we got to get rid of him. And now they're going to try to make Erika Kirk the next president. So Erika Kirk is going to be running for president in 2028. I'm the first one that told you this.
I think Erika would be an amazing president someday. Erika would be an amazing president someday.
And so after watching these, it's like, are they replacing him? Is there something else that we don't know about? Is there more to this story with the McCoys? With all these things adding up, I don't know. Part of me says, kind of seems like they are trying to replace him, and they're replacing him with somebody who is going to be far more willing to toe the line with this narrative that was clearly being challenged and about to be basically completely abandoned by Charlie.
Yes. And the actual camera guy that put the thing on Charlie, his name is Terrell Farnsworth. I got all the names of everybody that was on stage.
I'm one of the only people who managed to get globally famous and renowned without having a gatekeeper. If you're on a basketball team, if you say anything you're not supposed to say, you're off the team. If you're an actress and you say something you're not supposed to say, the producers won't hire you anymore. Record labels, YouTube, there's always someone who will shut you down if you start speaking in a way you're not supposed to speak. And the way they avoid this from happening is the same thing they tried to do to me. I got offered $55 million to sign a contract, and that contract was a sponsorship contract. But to avoid brand damage, I had to shut up about certain issues and change my opinions on certain things. And I declined the money. money. And soon after that, I was arrested. So what they try and do is give you a gatekeeper if you get famous without one, but primarily people only get famous because of their gatekeeper. All of these famous people aren't even famous. They cannot allow you to be influential if they don't control you. That's what Epstein's Island was about. That's what my criminal cases are about. That's what all of this is about, because the entire world is a battle for influence. And if you're influential, they need to get you under somebody. If you're influential, they need to get you under somebody. If you're influential, they need to get you under somebody.
When Charlie is 18 years old, he speaks at a college. He just seems like any other young American conservative. But at that college, he catches someone's eye. But at that college, he catches someone's eye. But at that college, he catches someone's eye. Will Montgomery sees that Charlie gets attention. While other conservative speakers are boring, young people listen to Charlie Kirk. A month later, in September 2012, he and the 18-year-old launched Turning Point USA.
What Turning Point USA stands for, what we're trying to do is we're going into the high schools and the colleges to challenge these textbooks that publish flat out falsehoods and fallacies.
It's a nonprofit organization established to promote conservative values, specifically among young Americans through high school and college campuses.
I'm only 19 years old and fighting this fight every single day. I get to go to college.
So right here, this is who Charlie Kirk was under. This guy, Will Montgomery, for those who don't know, gave Charlie Kirk $4.7 million in order to start Turning Point USA. If you want to know why they killed Charlie Kirk, it starts here. They find these people when they're young and they give them a bunch of money and surround them, with other people that think like them. And next thing you know, they're indoctrinated into whatever the belief is that the demons want you to think. And as you already know, from the age of 19 to the age of 30, they had him. But when he turned 31, whether he had kids or whatever, something started to change with him. And he was just like, yo, this is not right. But for 10 years, they had him. So for 10 years, they invested millions of dollars into Charlie Kirk. As you already know, when they started Turning Point USA, IHOP started donating millions and millions and millions of dollars to Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA. Turning Point USA was making on average $83 million per year. $83 million per year. And they had no products. And they didn't sell tickets to the things that it was going to. How the hell did they make all the damn money? It all came from IHOP. So IHOP is like, how dare you shit on our name? How dare you shit on what we're trying to do when we're the ones that made you? So they literally became his father to a certain degree. And you know how your father may say, I brought you in this world, I can take you out. So that's literally what they did. So they actually feel like they created this young man, raised this young man, took care of this man's family, gave him a wife because his wife was given to him. Erika Kirk was a honeypot, allegedly. So next thing you know, his whole life is what IHOP formed. His wife came from IHOP, or not came from IHOP, but she was over there doing weird shit over there. She was in Romania. So she was already indoctrinated. So they went and got her stupid ass and put her with him. Will Montgomery gave this young man $4.7 million. And then they built this whole thing up. And next thing you know, Charlie's like, nah, I don't want to do this no more. Excuse me? You're not going to do what? You're not going to what? You're not going to what? Yeah. What? I don't want to do this anymore. Oh. You don't have a choice, sir. You took the money. And when you take the money, we own you. And he's like, oh, I don't care. And next thing you know, they killed him. And it's just that simple. They made him, they invested not only millions of dollars into him, but they invested 10 years into this young man. That's the reason why he's dead.
Campuses, high schools, I debate professors, I debate socialists.
It's not an immediate success, but Turning Point steadily grows into something larger than Charlie.
We'll probably recruit 4,000 to 5,000 new students, collect their data. We'll probably recruit 4,000 to 5,000 new students, collect their data. We'll probably recruit 4,000 to 5,000 new students, collect their data, collect their data.
See, Turning Point USA is literally a data farming company. And then they take all of the data, email addresses, addresses, names, demographics, who they voting for, ages, and then they sell all that shit to IHOP.
It's a high energy conference for us. It's a way to reward our best members that have been.
They organize speeches with ever bigger conservative American thinkers. The young Charlie Kirk quickly becomes a fixture of the American political conservative landscape.
I started an organization, Turning Point USA, 2.5 years ago, around two key values: free markets and limited government.
In 2016, he speaks at the Republican National Convention. When Trump secures the Republican nomination, he and Turning Point embrace the MAGA movement. Charlie Kirk gets a direct line to the president. At the same time, he begins using modern media outlets as a way to spread his political message. But they're also a means for generating content that gets attention. He gets millions of views, in large part fueled by debates on college campuses. In 2018 comes Campus Clash, a college tour with Candace Owens. In 2024, the You're Being Brainwashed tour, a college tour with former presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy. On September 10th, 2025, Kirk initiates the American Comeback Tour, a series of events for college students across the United States. The format includes his classic Prove Me Wrong table sessions, where he invites attendees to debate his political and cultural viewpoints in a public setting.
The Democrats know he had almost $500 million war chest, taking over the colleges, getting all the undecided, even some of the leftists to.
Y'all hear that right? $500 million. $500 million. And you think you want to turn your back on me? Are you crazy?
Table sessions, where he invites attendees to debate his political and cultural viewpoints in a public setting.
The Democrats know he had almost $500 million war chest, taking over the colleges, getting all the undecided, even some of the leftists, to vote and get engaged and wake up like dominoes. The brainwashing was falling. But more importantly, he was getting young conservatives to get mobilized and start getting others to vote, and they were getting energized. If you were going to piggyback, it would be the Democrats or one of their groups, a Soros group.
So yesterday, as I said, the base looked at Trump and said, "What the hell are you doing?" Okay. And then Pam Bondi gets up there. She tries to tell us that they don't know if Jeffrey Epstein was working for another country. They don't know. They don't know if he was working for another country. And yet we know, all of us know, that he was working for Israel. But Pam Bondi and the state, they don't know that. But all of us know that. And now the question is, why can't Trump admit that? I want to be clear. Jeffrey Epstein harmed
tadpoles.
Okay. How can you possibly not find the courage to stand up and say the truth about who he was doing that on behalf of?
See, this is the key issue right here. On behalf of. Why does she say on behalf of? Because you have to do certain things that you may not want to do on behalf of another interest in order for them to see that you are down with them. So you have to do this on behalf of them. You have to do that on behalf of them.
The same country that factually protects American
tadpole
pedophiles
catchers.
if they move to Israel after they commit their crimes against children. We're not stupid. Everyone is waking up to what Israel is. Everyone's waking up to the stranglehold that they have on our politicians, our foreign policy. And now we're going back and we're realizing that it's maybe always been this way. That our policy is essentially when it gets caught with its pants down, our government will still rush to defend them.
Candace Owens was dropping bombs tonight on her most recent episode, Why Are They Lying About Charlie Kirk, revealing that Bill Ackman, one of Charlie's biggest donors, gave the FBI $1 million for a reward to whoever identified the shooter, and now that money is going to the alleged shooter's dad. Watch this.
That's not clear to me is that the story that we were told was that Tyler Robinson allegedly, after speaking with the pastor, his dad turned him in. Bill Ackman put up $1 million, right? Thanks, Bill. You really cared about Charlie. And that money is now going to the father of this child who, after prayer and speaking to a pastor, they're saying, okay, well, he turned himself in. That we were told he turned himself in. Now we're being told that actually he hasn't confessed. So I'm just wondering, how do you turn yourself in without confessing? Because if I said
Side of my husband and Erika Kirk has the power to shut me up right now. That's it. 2 people. That's what I just said is meant to be a dig to the donors that are making frantic calls, trying to politic this situation under control because they know I'm telling the truth. Okay. The truth is that Charlie was under immense pressure and he was facing financial threats over his shifting stance on Israel. That is.
And the financial threats was, we gave you all this money. You got to do what we tell you to do. That's the financial threats. Because he wasn't in any type of financial hardship. But when one group of people is the reason why you are rich, you got to die. Well, I won't say that, but they're going to kill you. Everybody drop popcorn emojis in the chat. 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 Drop popcorn emojis in the chat.
Reality, my friends. Again, I want those people to know your money means nothing to me. I already said no to it. That's why I don't care to be in those circles. Make me persona non grata. I know what.
You can't take the money, then turn down the money. You can't take the money. You took the money. You took the money.
I did wrong. I looked you in your face and I said no to your money. Okay. Don't push me or I will name more names. I know what you did this summer. Okay. Got to add Josh Hammer's face to that poster as well, because suddenly everybody's talking. So let's buckle up for some more indisputable facts.
Charlie Kirk was offered an infusion of $150 million by Turning Point USA has an annual budget of $140 million. Netanyahu offered Turning Point $150 million for one purpose and one purpose only: to shill for harder. Turning Point USA is already pro. They're not anti. They've never been. Charlie Kirk has in the past criticized Bibi Netanyahu. He has criticized secular left-wing in America. He has criticized a war with Iran. He has never opposed in itself. Offered him $150 million to be more pro than they already were, to be harder in their support. And Charlie Kirk refused the money. And I have independently confirmed that, by the way. I've heard that from 4 people. 4 people that I trust that are in the know. So this is coming from Candace Owens, a friend of Charlie Kirk. This is coming from Max Blumenthal, who purports to have a source. And I have heard from a handful of people independently of those sources that this offer was real and that Kirk turned down the money. Netanyahu asked if he would come visit Jerusalem and give him the re-education tour. The one that Elon Musk took, the one that our Speaker of the House took, anyone that's ever criticized been subjected to. He refused that as well. They offered to bribe him. They tried to re-educate him. He refused both offers.
I tried to tell y'all that Diddy did not groom Cassie. Let's go down a rabbit hole. Cassie started modeling at 14.
Does this have something to do with? No. Oh, this has something to do with something. Oh, we were talking about Diddy on that one.
Gaza, and Deruso was paid by the Israeli government to go there
and deliver this absurd, flamboyant video mocking people for starving, denying starvation, and claiming that Hamas leaders are eating all the food so they're going on Ozempic. And that's like what was coming out of this disgusting meeting where Charlie Kirk was being screamed at for trying to take like a mildly principled position.
I know exactly how they do this. I know exactly how The Simpsons is able to predict everything, guys. The truth is these are not predictions. It is not prophecy. It is programming. The elites hide their plans in plain sight through shows, through movies, and even cartoons, because your subconscious mind absorbs it. So by the time it actually happens in real life, you have already accepted it. And why do they do this, you might ask? It is consent. In their twisted logic, even if they show you through cartoons, then you've agreed to it. This is how they avoid their karmic cycle. So when these Simpsons predictions come true, people laugh, they share the memes, and they move on. But that is exactly what the trap is, because it normalizes the agenda that's being played out here. Simpsons is not predicting the future. It is revealing the script at play. We live in a scripted reality. And once you see it for what it is and you stop consenting, that's when you break their power.
Did they predict Charlie Kirk getting shot? Does anybody know?
Much love and peace.
I'm looking down at Charlie. I mean, he's a foot from me.
Shut your stupid ass up. Fast forward this damn clown.
At the end, the person she thanks is none other than Colonel Otto Buscher.
All right, some of y'all seen this already, but let's go over it a little bit.
Can't pronounce it. Romanian name. Everything seemed to be normal until Anna Maria discovered that in this military unit belonging to NATO forces, there was a real brothel where underage girls came to satisfy the desire.
Whoa. They're sharing what group chats they're in. So this whole thing is about the narrative of their for disasters.
As we all know now, Charlie Kirk dies a gruesome death, and she takes over as CEO of Turning Point with the new organization now much more powerful than it ever was. So it's almost like Charlie is more valuable to them dead than alive. Something just feels wrong here.
Arizona, USA, 2012. Erika Franzwey.
Let's talk about Erika Kirk's mom. Her name is Lori Fonzvey. Right here, she's over E3 Tech Group. And remember, this is Charlie Kirk's wife's mother. E3 Tech Group is associated with Lori Fonzvey, Erika Kirk's mother, specializes in cybersecurity. Company provides solutions for protection against natural and man-made disasters. It gets worse. E3 Tech Group collaborates with the government, including the Department of Defense and NASA.
Congratulations, Erika Franzwey.
So this is when it gets really worse. This is Erika Kirk's wife's father. Government agencies, including the Department of Defense. Erika Kirk's father is known for also working with AZ Tech International, and that's a consulting firm for U.S. government agencies, including Department of Defense and the Department of Energy. Some third-party data indicates that AZ Tech International received contracts totaling over $2.6 million from the Department of Defense between 2000 and 2010. So it gets worse. He has leadership roles, keyword leadership roles, within defense companies like Raytheon's IHOP division, contributing to projects such as IHOP's Iron, I will say, Skillet missile defense system. So what all this means is if Erika's mother and Erika's father are working with IHOP, Erika Kirk's parents are not only working with the missile defense side, the cybersecurity side, but also Superfeed Technologies, which has a lot to do with controlling the narrative of their users when it comes to political campaigns. Remember, she's in cybersecurity and she which means her mother is a part of the whole geofencing situation. And that is Turning Point Faith. So Erika Kirk's mom is in cybersecurity, and she knows how to geofence. So Erika Kirk needed to get Charlie Kirk out of the way. And now, since her husband died, she's this angelic woman that everybody should feel sorry for. So now she's going to become this pastor or some type of shit and take over every church on the West Coast. Turning Point Faith. And on top of that, since she is now running a church or a church conglomerate, all of this money she's making doesn't have to be taxed. As your phone data, what do you think she's doing with it? She's finding out what the average person is thinking, wanting, what they're scrolling, what they're looking at, what they're buying, who they may be texting, what they're actually talking about, what content they're sharing, what group chats they're in. So this whole thing is about data farming. Not only do they have the hearts and minds and data of all these students that Charlie Kirk had influence over, they also have the hearts and minds of all of these churches. So it's not just money, it's not just data, but it's influence. And all of this money, data, and influence is going back or is funneled back to IHOP. And now, because of Erika Kirk and her parents, IHOP now knows where your daughter lives, where your son lives, their ages, their preferences, their wants, their needs, what type of nasty sites they're going on in their phones. And since all these young people signed up for Turning Point USA and their database, and millions of young people sign up for their terms and conditions, which nobody read, which now they're geotagged, which means somebody may actually know not only where your daughter is, but where your daughter goes to when she goes shopping, what mall she likes to go to, what movie theater she likes to go to. And if all of this information were to fall into the wrong hands, because I don't want to get sued, so I'm not making any accusations of anything. But if this information fell into the wrong hands, do you think they would easily be able to geographically find out not only where your daughter is, but where your daughter is about to be in the next 45 minutes? How would that affect you and your family? See, these countries don't care about money. They either don't need money or they have more money than we do. They don't need oil. They don't need all these other things. They need the tadpoles.
No grieving saint. She's wired into the machine. Knights of Malta? Spot on. She flashed that Black Cross pendant in her first widow clip, same one every sovereign military order knight wears, and her family's donated heavy to Catholic orders forever. Freemason angle's subtler. Her dad, Kent Francevey, wasn't just Raytheon. He chaired their Israel division, funneled billions in Iron Dome cash while Charlie's old man designed Trump Tower. Yeah, but also the bunker levels nobody admits exist. Erika? Inherited $23 million at 25 from a trust. Come on, that's not beauty queen money. That's Mossad's slush fund. She started Everyday Heroes as cover, funneled donations straight to pro-Israel NGOs. And that G-ring? Not grief. Grand Lodge symbol, worn by 33rd degree insiders. Delivered that speech 2 days after the shot because it was pre-taped. Voice forensics say the room echo doesn't match. Lighting's wrong.
And Charlie Kirk's widow whispers her final goodbye to her slain husband in his casket. I love you. God bless you.
And remember, I don't know if y'all seen the video I did about the hands, this right here, when she was crying in the casket. I was able to prove that those are not Charlie Kirk's hands. Those are Charlie Kirk's. Well, just watch. That's a 6'5" man versus a 5'6" woman. Look at the hands right here. She got little baby hands compared to his. See right there? Those are not his hands. Because his hands are bigger than that. there's a lot of things that IHOP messed up. And I'm not going to say they're stupid or incompetent because they pulled this whole thing off. So I can't get mad at them for being stupid, but they are kind of stupid because for us to find all this stuff out and for the damn fake wax hands and shit, like they're kind of stupid. But they pulled this off well and nobody's going to jail. So I can't say they are incompetent, but they're kind of incompetent. See that shit? It's just really common sense. You should have never put your hands on that whack figure, man. You're an idiot for doing that. So I think Erika Kirk is an idiot, but IHOP, you know, they got this off. Your hands are not the same size as Charlie Kirk, stupid. God bless you. Get your mop head ass up. Orange ass fingers. What are you doing, dummy? So yeah, we did hella research. We did hella research on this. So does anybody want to come up and share their opinion on anything? I'm gonna drop the link in the chat if anybody wants to come up. Does anybody want to come up and share their opinion on anything? I like to have y'all on if y'all have anything to share. Found it a few days ago. Aaron has it. What, Marjorie? Found what? Oh, y'all talking to each other. But click the StreamYard link if y'all want to come up. I'll give y'all a couple minutes. All right, so I dropped the StreamYard link in the chat if anybody wants to come up. So I'm gonna play a commercial break, and if somebody hits the link and comes up, we'll talk to them. So let's see. All right, we'll come back out of this commercial and see if somebody comes up.
Meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game. We'll have fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time.
Ooh, what's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
I'm down.
Okay, meet you at 6.
Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards are good for vetting a potential boyfriend, a potential girlfriend, a potential husband, a potential wife. The texture of these cards are so soft and silky, by the way. Like
they ain't gonna get
really
wore out.
Durable.
A dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much needed compatibility questions. Deeper Discussions, the card game.
All right, did anybody come up yet? Nope. All right, so I will talk to y'all later and drop some heart emojis in the chat for Candace Owens. She will be back tomorrow. So the queen of this Charlie Kirk rabbit hole, I would say, will be back tomorrow. So shout out to the queen of the Charlie Kirk rabbit hole. Drop heart emojis in the chat if y'all are excited to see what Candace Owens has to say. No heart emojis? Come on, y'all. Drop some heart emojis in the chat for Candace Owens. Come on, y'all. Let's go. 1,000 people. Come on. Drop some heart emojis for Candace Owens. She is the one, I would say she's the main one driving this whole ship. And I would love to see what she has to say. I actually miss her myself. I miss her. She's been posting, but she hasn't been on YouTube though. But y'all have a good rest of y'all night. Make sure to join my Patreon if you have not. And for the people who have not bought my card games, make sure to buy my Deep Discussions card games. Before y'all go, the link is in the chat. The link is in the chat. The link is in the chat. Oh, we got somebody. Let's see. Hey.
Hey, you.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I am good. I am good.
Let me turn on a light here. All right. Hi. Now everybody can see me. How's your weekend been?
It's been going. It's been going good.
Well, I can see that. Now, remember what I was talking about are the symbols that are branded into her hands.
Yes.
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah. So just for the record, I did tell Allie that the symbols most likely are Greek symbols that fraternities use. And a lot of Greek symbols are on a lot of men and women's arms and hands. So it's not satanic stuff, it's college stuff. But go ahead.
The one, however, that horseshoe with the tildes, I call them with the tildes, that's a satanic symbol. I don't know if I sent you.
That's the Omega symbol.
The other one, okay, but it's got tildes on it. It's got horns. If you look at it, if you look real close, you'll see it.
Okay.
Now the other one I thought was a Mason symbol.
Okay.
Because that's what it looked like. Because if you, that's why I sent you all the variations of the Masonic.
Yeah, I looked them up. I didn't go to college myself, but you know, I had a lot of friends that they went to college, and they have those same brandings on their arms. There's a Alpha, Sega, Mega, Phi, what the hell.
Now, I thought I saw somewhere she was in Phi something. Phi Theta Kappa is honor society for colleges, so it wasn't that Phi, but
it's called the Divine Nine, so it's 9 different ones, I guess.
Yes. Some of my cousins also that are highly educated have pledged sororities. However, they drew the line when it came time to be branded. And those look more like brands, not like tattoos. Because if you notice, tattoos are pretty prevalent in all the military guys that we've been picking up.
But I just want to say this. The thing about it is, I cannot come on my channel and say, like, respected college branding is some devil stuff. You get what I'm saying? So, even though we're doing research, I cannot defend the Divine Nine because that's the majority of humans. So we cannot do that. So if you show a picture of something and they like, I got that on my damn arm, what you trying to say? You're offending millions of people, not thousands. So we're not gonna do that. You get what I'm saying? They take that sororities and fraternity stuff very seriously. They will beat us.
I know they do. I know they do. That's why I never pledged. I attempted to, but when I saw how things truly were, I went a totally different direction, and I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of them either, and you know I speak my mind. Sorry, not sorry.
I'm afraid of the fraternity.
I know you are. I know you are. I'm not. That's why I say it for everybody else, if that makes sense. And that's how I am. And anybody who knows me knows that I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to tell you what I see. And I do hella research. You know that. You know that.
Yeah.
I send you stuff constantly.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, Marjorie or Mags, she is part of the Scooby-Doo mystery team, and we be in the chat talking about all kinds of stuff. So shout out to you.
Crazy stuff. Well, anyway, I got you. You know how I am. You know what my opinion is. I'm still chasing stuff down.
Yes.
You just anybody wants me to look at something, I can always chase it down. If I can't
Yeah.
chase it down, there's an issue. So, but
And I would
there's my
say,
opinion.
kind of like what I've been saying. I think we need to get farther down the rabbit hole of
I agree.
Mikey McCoy and his crooked ass pastor father, Rob McCoy.
Yeah, now I'm going to tell you that that thought never crossed my mind with especially with Rob. But then when everybody started pointing out, you were the first video I watched, then I watched 2 other people, I was like, Mikey? And then I was like, it makes sense. Everything fits into the chronological order, how he was acting. That's shady, dude. That was shady. But, you know.
Well, I would say religion itself is shady. And this is
I
the reason why
agree.
I'm not a church person. A lot of y'all already know that. Okay, I'm gonna ask you this. What is the number one reason why we be getting in wars? Is it women? Is it money? Is it oil? What do you think? What it is? What is it? Do you think? And anybody in the chat, you can let me know. What is the one thing that keeps all these countries fighting with each other? What is it? Go ahead. What do you think?
Religion.
Religion. That's it. It's religion.
Yep.
It ain't women. It ain't money. It ain't water, oil. It ain't territory. It ain't land. It's religion. Religion is the devil. See, religion literally means habitual habits. That's all religion. You know, I religiously eat grapes. You get what I'm saying? So religion is literally a habit. Religion isn't God. Religion itself is the habit of doing something, right? So all these people having all these different religions is the reason why so many people die on a normal basis. That's what's going on with them countries now. It's religion stuff. Because IHOP, they run around talking about we are the chosen people. All of this is religion. So if you get religion out of your life, you have no more problems. Religion itself, pastors, all these motherfuckers are the devil. See, all I need is me, God, and the Bible. I don't need all these other fucking people. So
not only that, they want to talk about they're the chosen. They're not, because it states clearly in the Bible. Yes, of course, everybody's had the argument, man rewrote it. Okay, whatever. Irregardless, there is a passage in the Bible where he says straight out who the chosen people was, and that was the tribe of Judah. I found it finally. It took me a long time to find it, but I did, because, you know, I'm like you. I believe in God. I even quit going to church because, you know, you were correct on that too. It's all about money. It's all about the money. It's all about the Benjamins. And when you did that report on the podcast where the church made $20 million in 1 year, and then they had $5 extra million for all these other funds, I'm like, okay, and that's all tax-free money. 503C. Yep. Tax-free. And they're walking away while, you know, I'm quite sure there's people in their parishioner that are needing help and a little bit of guidance. And what are they getting out of it? They're giving it. They're giving it.
And like everybody knows at least 10 pastors that either steal people money or fucking your wife.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Or both.
Or the other, you know, I don't want to say the other, the tadpole part.
That's what I was going to go with, the tadpoles.
So, yeah, the more you stay away from the church, the more you keep your family safe.
Yep.
Pastors, religion, the church is all demonic. See, the thing about it is, in my opinion, and this is just my belief, there is no devil. There's only God. The devils are the humans that mistreat people and change the words of the Bible into this and that. Next thing you know, hey, we are the chosen people, or we are this, and because the Bible say right here, no, the Bible is open to a lot of interpretations. So you could, the Bible says we are the chosen. Well, you could be we, he, then next thing you know, you could turn around and have a whole bunch of people thinking that they are something and they may not be. But you're listening to this stupid ass person standing in front of you, and he's just running around sleep with everybody's wife.
Yep.
And stealing everybody's money. You know? So yeah.
Yep.
Like I said, the poltergeist saved my entire life because my mom was in the church. Not hard in the church, but she used to maybe go to church. And when I seen poltergeist, I said, Mom, I don't want to go to church no more. She was like, why? I said, I don't want to go. And I ain't tell her why. I just said I want to go because I seen the poltergeist. So if I would not have seen poltergeist and I would have seen that crooked ass, weird ass man that was actually the devil in poltergeist, my dumb ass would have been in church like, like idiot. So yeah.
So anyway, yeah, the other point I was going to tell you too, everything, the 1947 thing, did you, I think I sent you a roadmap today, so to speak.
Okay. I'll look into it.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. And you know what my opinion is on that as well, because something tragically happened in my family in that year. It's been a source of something that the family has talked about since 1947. And of course, the newer generation, I didn't even know any of this until, like I said, I took a DNA test, and then I'm finding out all these people I'm related to. It is totally insane. Just like when I went to visit all my ancestors at the cemetery, I'm absolutely shocked by all the Masonic symbols on their headstones.
On their headstones.
On their headstones. I up in Iowa, and at the time, this was back 2015. After I had met my uncle, I went looking at some of these ancestors' headstones, and now everything makes sense. It didn't back then, but it does now. And then, of course, that's the side of the family where Elizabeth Short came from. I have a pretty close relative that we've been looking at things for since 2015 on that. I mean, if anybody who has any research ability, when we found out some of the things we found out, it had to have been ritualistic.
Yeah.
And it started in 1947. Everything comes back to that year. Everything.
People. They get you caught up in all this Jesus mess, and then they start pulling you into this ritual bullshit. And next thing you know, you think you're doing all this stuff for Jesus, but you're actually doing it for demonic reasons, right?
Exactly. And they're sitting in organized religion in a church. They're being led by wolves in sheep's clothing. Aphrodite keeps bringing that up, and she's absolutely correct. Aphrodite is also part of my family, if you did not know that. We just recently found this out when we were looking at another famous man who was unalived, pretty similar to Charlie.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep. That's that Louisiana senator or governor we were telling you about.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he was going to run for office too. And that's a Bible Belt down in that area, FYI.
Yeah. So I'm going to end the stream now. I got some stuff to do before I go to bed, but thank you. Of course. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And everybody watching, thank y'all for watching. Go ahead. You about to say something?
No, I was going to say goodbye, everybody, and let's keep working because we're doing a really good job. I'm going to get off of here, Aaron. We'll talk later.
Okay. All right. Talk to you later.
Peace. Peace.
All right. And y'all have no idea how much. Hold on. Let's see. Please check out Pastor Bob Joyce. He even warns people of the churches and how they are about money. A lot of you here may want to also, if you haven't already, you know who they think he is. I'm so disconnected from all that pastor bullshit. So I don't know nothing about no damn pastors. I don't have no friends that are pastors. I will never have a friend that is a pastor. Pastors are trash. Pastors are the pieces of shit of the world. Pastors are the devils of the world. I will never have a friend as a pastor. Pastors are pieces of shit. So I'm always going to have that as an understanding, and it protects me. It serves me. And yeah, my life is beautiful because of these crooked ass pastors not leading me astray. So I will talk to y'all later, and y'all have a good rest of your night. And make sure to buy my card game.
Hey, how about we meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game? We'll have fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time.
Ooh, what's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
I'm down.
Okay, meet you at 6.
Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards are good for vetting a potential boyfriend, a potential girlfriend, a potential husband, a potential wife. The texture of these cards are so soft and silky, by the way. Like
they ain't gonna get
really
wore out.
durable.
A dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much needed compatibility questions. Deeper Discussions, the card.
Help every woman watching, regardless of age, regardless of background. See, in my 7 years of coaching women, the number one thing that I hear in my coaching sessions is her issue or tumultuous relationship with her mother. So what I've done is come out with a card game that will actually help mothers and daughters come back together. We have to get to the source of a woman's pain, her inadequacies, her insecurities, and heal that little girl inside of her before she goes out in the world as a woman. I call Like Mother, Like Daughter therapy in a box. Therapy in a box is 50 questions for the daughter to ask the mother, questions that you always wanted to ask. And it's also 50 questions for the mother to ask the daughter. But when you're able to ask the questions that you always wanted to ask to your mother without her getting upset, without her pulling rank on you, the lines of communication are now open. When women are finally able to forgive their mother, relationships outside of the household would then blossom. Because for most women, there's a hurt little girl inside of her that never had an opportunity to be seen or heard. But all that stops when you buy my new Like Mother, Like Daughter card game. Order it now. The link is under this video. Click the link and let's start healing.
Mama, sit down, let's play this game. In these cards we heal our pain. Face to face we both explain. Maybe find our bond again. Years of anger lose their sting. We both said some hurtful things. Let these questions heal broken strings. Let this game and fractured wings. Like mother, like daughter, we are the same. You'll see when we play this game. My inner child just wants to be seen. I forgive you, do you forgive me? The hurt, the neglect and disrespect, wounds can be healed in these 2 deaths. Even though our past attempts have stalled, Mama, please just don't withdraw. Like mother, like daughter, we are the same. You'll see when we play this game. My inner child just wants to be seen. I forgive you, do you forgive me? The hurt, the neglect and disrespect.
If you like this song, make sure to buy my card game. If you like this song that I wrote with my own hands, buy my card game.
Wounds can be healed in these 2 decks, even though our past attempts have stalled. Mama, please just don't withdraw. Like mother, like daughter, we are the same. You'll see when we play this game. My inner child just wants to be seen. I forgive you, do you forgive me? Hearts that want to see it. Even though our past attempts have stalled, Mama, please just don't withdraw.
Thank you, Deb.